Atlanta was already burning with drama after Imani Richardson boldly went on camera and refused to even call her stepmother by name, cementing the viral phrase, "that lady," into culture. The internet had crowned Imani the winner, Erica Dixon, the redeemed mother, and Bambi the fumbling villain. But if there is one thing Atlanta knows, it's that silence is never permanent. Just when fans thought the feud might start dying down, Bambi made her move. She went live, face tight, hair slicked, and voice laced with venom, claiming the entire world had it wrong. According to her, what Imani said in that viral interview wasn't truth. It wasn't independence. It wasn't the voice of a young woman finally speaking her mind. No, she declared. It was a script written by Erica Dixon. "Y'all sitting here praising a teenager like she grown," Bambi hissed into her phone, her eyes darting with rage. But what you really heard was her mama talking through her. Erica has been brainwashing that girl for years. Everything she said to Regina, Erica told her to say. Don't get it twisted. That one statement hit like a grenade. The blogs caught it instantly, splashing headlines across Instagram. Bambi accuses Erica of brainwashing Imani. The comment sections exploded. Fans who had praised Imani for standing tall now rushed to defend her, calling Bambi out for trying to strip a young woman of her voice. But others, especially those who still held grudges against Erica, leaned in and whispered that maybe Bambi had a point. Suddenly, the story shifted from stepmother versus stepdaughter to mother versus wife, with Imani caught back in the middle. And just like that, the storm reignited. Erica Dixon didn't let the accusation sit. Within hours, she hopped on Instagram Live, calm but cutting, sitting in her living room with natural light pouring in. Her voice didn't rise. She didn't scream. She simply said, "Nobody tells my daughter what to think. Nobody tells my daughter what to feel. She is grown and she has earned her voice. And the fact that you can't handle her truth says more about you than it does about me." The comments filled with heart emojis, "Tell her, Erica," and support pouring in from fans who had long been waiting to see her stand unshaken. Erica ended with one line that went viral on its own. "The only brainwashing that's been going on is the lies you've been telling yourself. But if anyone thought Bambi would stop there, they underestimated her." Hours later, she was back on her platform, this time not just with words, but with what she claimed were receipts. Screenshots flashed across her screen. Supposed text messages between Imani and Erica, where Erica allegedly told her daughter what to say about Bambi, coaching her lines for the Regina Carter interview. The problem? Fans noticed inconsistencies. Immediately. Wrong dates, mismatched fonts, even a battery icon in the corner that didn't line up with an iPhone screenshot. Within minutes, Twitter was flooded with clown emojis and hashtags like "Bark Photoshop Bambi" and "Hark Fake Receipts ATL." What was supposed to be her vindication quickly became humiliation, and while Bambi fumbled with screenshots, Mama D saw her moment. The Queen of Shade poured her drink into her infamous goblet, went live, and without saying Bambi's name declared, "Baby ain't nobody brainwashing nothing. That girl got more sense than half these grown women. The only washing going on is the rinse cycle you keep putting your own reputation through." The comments lit up, fans laughing, reposting, turning her soundbite into TikTok remixes. One fan even edited a clip of laundry machines spinning with the caption, "Bambi's brainwashing receipts." It was brutal. Scrappy, meanwhile, stayed quiet. But his silence spoke volumes. He kept posting tour dates, videos of sold-out shows, and footage of fans screaming his name, making sure the world knew he was about his bag, not the mess. Still, the streets whispered, where does Scrappy stand? Was he siding with his daughter and Erica in silence, or was he giving Bambi space to drown alone? His lack of defense made Bambi look even more isolated, fueling the perception that she was losing allies one by one. Imani herself finally broke her silence days later. In a short but sharp TikTok, she sat in her room, no makeup, hair pulled back, looking straight into the camera. "Nobody told me what to say. Nobody told me how to feel. And if you think I need somebody to speak for me, you don't know me at all." That video was clipped, shared, and spread across every platform. Fans praised her maturity, calling her the realest of the entire cast. Her calm confidence was the perfect counterpunch to Bambi's desperate accusations. But Bambi wasn't finished. In another live, her voice sharper this time, she raised the stakes. If Erica don't stop using that girl against me, I'ma see her in court. Parental alienation is real, and I ain't gonna let my name get dragged by a child coached by her mama. That line shifted the feud into a new lane. Courtroom talk wasn't just shade, it was legal war. Blogs ran with it. Bambi threatens Erica with court over Imani. Fans debated if she was serious or bluffing, but either way, the narrative had leveled up. Erica's response was simple but devastating. She posted a black screen to her Instagram story with one sentence in white letters: "Take me to court. For loving my child? Good luck." Fans screenshotted it and turned it into a meme, writing over courtroom photos. "Judge, what's the crime? Erica, loving my daughter." Even verified celebs chimed in, laughing at the absurdity. Behind the scenes, whispers spread that VH1 producers were eating this up. Rumors swirled that they had pushed Reginae Carter to bring up Bambi's name in the first place, knowing Imani would give a reaction. If true, it meant the feud wasn't just family. It was manufactured chaos fed by the network. That rumor alone sparked a new wave of fan outrage, with people accusing production of exploiting a child for ratings. And while Erica held her ground, Bambi doubled down, refusing to back away from her claim that she was the victim of a long-running plot against her. By the end of part 1, the battle lines were drawn sharper than ever. Bambi had gone from being dragged for a flop diss track to painting herself as the target of a brainwashing conspiracy. Erica Dixon stood tall, refusing to let her motherhood be questioned. Imani doubled down, proving her independence. Mama D laughed and fueled the fire with her one-liners. And Scrappy, still silent, looked more and more like a man picking his daughter over his wife by saying nothing at all. The question lingering in the air was no longer about shade or viral quotes. It was about whether this family feud was about to step into the courtroom where Instagram comments couldn't save you, and where reputations either crumble or solidify forever. And in Atlanta, nothing stays just shade for long. Once legal threats hit the table, the drama becomes war. And Bambi had just declared hers. The storm only got louder after Bambi threatened court. Atlanta blogs had a field day, not just because she said it, but because of how she said it. Her voice trembled between anger and desperation, a mix that made the whole thing feel less like power and more like panic. Fans dragged her in comment sections, writing things like, "Court? Over what? Your feelings?" And "Imagine suing a mother for having a daughter that loves her." Memes went viral of judges rolling their eyes, and one clip of Judge Mathis yelling, "You sound crazy," was shared under Bambi's name thousands of times. But instead of slowing down, Bambi went harder. She did another interview, this time sitting in a studio with a smaller podcaster who looked like he couldn't believe his luck to have her. She cried on cue, saying, "I tried to love that girl. I tried to be there for her. But every time I turned around, Erica was in her ear telling her I was the enemy." What kind of mother does that? What kind of mother tells their child to disrespect their father's wife? She wiped her tears dramatically, but fans weren't buying it. The comments under the reposts weren't sympathy. They were laughter. And while Bambi tried to play victim, Imani Richardson didn't waste time. She went live herself, not with tears, not with theatrics, but with blunt honesty. "Nobody told me what to say. I'm not 10 years old. I'm grown. And the fact that people think my mama has to tell me how to feel is insulting. I know exactly what I've seen. I know exactly what I've lived through. And I know exactly who disrespected my family. That's my truth. Nobody fed it to me." Her calm tone cut deeper than any scream could have. Fans praised her for being the only one, with composure in the whole mess. Meanwhile, Erica Dixon turned her defense into offense. She posted throwback photos of her and Imani from birthdays, graduations, and quiet family moments. Photos that screamed authenticity. Her captions were sharp. "This bond didn't start yesterday. This love isn't scripted, and no amount of lies will rewrite what we built." Those posts flooded with support, fans saying they could see the bond for themselves. One viral comment read, "You can't fake 18 years of love. You can't Photoshop loyalty, But the boldest move came from Mama D. The self-proclaimed queen of Atlanta chaos went on Instagram Live with her infamous goblet and said, "Now, baby, let me tell y'all something. Ain't no brainwashing going on. What's happening is somebody can't handle the truth, so they trying to rewrite the story. But you can't rewrite history when the receipts are in the child's heart." Then she smirked, leaned forward, and dropped the line that turned the internet upside down. Bambi out here trying to be the queen, but baby, she's just the wicked stepmother of Atlanta. Within hours, dour wicked stepmother trended on Twitter. Memes of Bambi with Cinderella graphics, evil stepmother edits, and fairy tale captions spread everywhere. Mama D had done what she always did best, turn pain into theater and theater into culture. As the feud escalated, whispers started leaking from production. Insiders claimed VH1 executives were grinning from ear to ear because the drama was delivering more traction than any staged reunion fight could. Allegedly, producers had encouraged Regina Carter to bring up Bambi's name during the interview, knowing Imani would react. If true, this meant the feud wasn't just family, it was production-pushed chaos. Fans grew divided. Some dragged the network for exploiting a child, while others said Erica and Imani should have known better than to play into VH1's hands. But one thing was clear. The drama was no longer just about three women. It was about the system that thrived on turning their pain into storylines. Scrappy, who had stayed silent, finally cracked. During one of his shows on tour, he stopped mid-performance, grabbed the mic, and said, "Family over everything. Don't ever let nobody twist your bloodline." The crowd roared, phones shot into the air, and the clip went viral instantly. Fans praised him for standing with his daughter without getting messy. But the subtext was obvious. He was choosing Erica and Imani over Bambi, whether he said her name or not. That silence from her own husband made Bambi unravel further. She jumped back online, snapping at fans in her comments, arguing with strangers, and lashing out at bloggers. Her frustration bled into everything, and instead of sympathy, she became the punchline. Screenshots of her comments went viral with captions like, "When the villain tries to play victim," and "Ma'am, log off." And then came the flop heard around Atlanta. Bambi dropped another diss track, this time directly aimed at Erica. Dixon with bars accusing her of raising a mouthpiece instead of a daughter, and mocking her boutique business. But instead of hitting hard, the track landed flat. On Twitter, people joked that they only streamed it just to hear how bad it was. Within hours, Imani clapped back with the same smirk from before, posting to TikTok, "12 streams this time? Growth." The comment section exploded. 11 streams had already become a cultural catchphrase, and now 12 streams was the sequel nobody knew they needed. Memes flooded TikTok, with users mocking failed projects and captioning them 12 streams energy. Bambi had managed to hand her critics another weapon, and Imani used it with surgical precision. What cut the deepest, though, wasn't the diss track or the fake receipts. It was when Imani revisited her pain. In another interview, she explained how Bambi had ruined her prom experience, not by being absent, but by choosing that exact week to air out drama on social media. "Prom only happens once," she said, her voice cracking just slightly. "And instead of me being celebrated, I had to watch my name trend for the wrong reasons. That was supposed to be my night, and she took it." Fans were gutted. Whatever debates they'd been having about brainwashing or fake receipts evaporated. The sympathy swung completely back to Imani, with people saying, "This isn't shade anymore. This is emotional abuse." By the end of part 2, the narrative was clear. Bambi looked more desperate than ever, fumbling with fake receipts, flop music, and court threats. Erica Dixon was glowing, her bond with Imani shining brighter as fans praised her motherhood. Imani had not only defended herself, but flipped memes into weapons, turning the internet into her personal army. Scrappy made his choice known with one line on stage standing behind his blood. And Mama D? She sat on her throne, sipping from her goblet, reminding everyone that in Atlanta, no queen survives without shade. The feud was no longer just shade between women. It had become generational. It had become legal. And with Bambi's threats hanging in the air, the only question left was, would she actually step into a courtroom? Or was this just another desperate performance for a spotlight slipping from her hands? By the time the dust from 12 streams memes had settled, the feud was no longer just messy. It was history being written in real time. What began as one teenage girl drawing a boundary had spiraled into accusations, fake receipts, tracks, and legal threats. Atlanta was glued to their phones, watching in real time as Bambi, Dixon, Imani Richardson, Scrappy, and Mama D turned family chaos into a cultural moment. But the real question lingered in every blog caption and every podcast panel. Would Bambi really take this to court? Or was it all smoke with no fire? Then came the paperwork. TMZ-style blogs posted photos of what they claimed were draft filings from Bambi's legal team, accusing Erica of parental alienation and of intentionally turning a minor against a step-parent. The internet erupted. Some fans laughed. Others gasped, but almost everyone agreed. It was about to get uglier than anyone imagined. Memes flew, screenshots of Judge Judy shaking her head, captions like "the ghetto," and fan tweets saying, "Sis, you suing loyalty?" It was both unbelievable and exactly what people expected. Dixon responded with class but didn't back down. She went live, face bare, voice firm, saying, "My daughter is not a pawn, she's not a storyline. And the day somebody thinks they can drag me into court for loving her and protecting her is the day they show the world who they really are." Her calm but sharp words went viral. Fans filled her comments with fire emojis and support, praising her for standing tall against what they saw as a desperate attempt at relevance. Meanwhile, Imani once again became the center of the storm. But this time she wasn't just clapping back. She was setting the record straight in ways even the adults couldn't. In a TikTok that pulled millions of views in hours, she said, "If you think my mom told me what to say, you don't know me. I've been silent for years, holding my tongue while grown folks threw shade. I'm not holding my tongue anymore. Nobody wrote my truth. Nobody fed me lies. This is me. And if you don't like it, that's your problem." The clips spread like wildfire. Fans started posting their own videos using her sound as a way to clap back at their own toxic relatives. Just like that, Imani's pain turned into a movement. But the internet wasn't done dragging Bambi. As her legal claims spread, fans started digging. Old clips resurfaced of Bambi dismissing Imani in past seasons of Love and Hip Hop, rolling her eyes when Erica's name was mentioned, and throwing shade that now looked worse in hindsight. Every video became evidence. Every petty moment became proof. The hashtag #JarThatLady was replaced with a new one. Wicked Stepmother, a direct callback to Mama D's iconic line. TikTok edits with fairy tale music, Disney villains, and Bambi's face went viral. She wasn't just losing the feud, she was being immortalized as the villain. Scrappy, caught in the middle, could no longer stay silent. On stage at one of his concerts, he stopped the music and said, "Listen, man, family ain't supposed to be a war zone. That's my child. That's my blood. And at the end of the day, blood don't need no coaching to tell the truth. It speaks for itself." The crowd went wild. Fans screamed, posted the clip, and once again the message was clear. Scrappy had picked his side, and it wasn't Bambi. His words turned into another viral soundbite, played over fan edits with captions like "blood over everything" and "you can't coach honesty." As all of this played out online, Mama D went for the jugular. She hosted her own Instagram live, sipping from her goblet, shaking her head slowly. "Now, baby, let me tell you something. You can't sue motherhood, you can't sue loyalty, and you can't sue blood. What you can do is look in the mirror and figure out why the whole city of Atlanta calling you the villain." Her live turned into a spectacle, with thousands tuning in, spamming the comments with laughing emojis, horse memes, and wicked stepmother hashtags. Once again, she had turned the feud into theater, but this time, she made sure the moral was clear. The rumors about VH1 production only added more chaos. Insiders leaked that executives were already plotting to center the next season around the feud, pitching storylines about a family mediation special. Some fans were outraged, saying the network was exploiting Imani's trauma, while others said they couldn't wait to see it play out on screen. Either way, the machine had already decided. The feud wasn't ending, it was just moving to TV. But behind the memes, behind the lives, behind the hashtags, there was something heavier. Imani's words about survival stuck with fans. She admitted that growing up in the spotlight meant staying quiet while adults used her name for clout. Her decision to finally speak wasn't just shade, it was reclaiming power, and that resonated far beyond Atlanta. Young fans started posting their own versions of her phrase, "We don't say the names of people we don't like," using it to cut ties with toxic friendships, family drama, and fake relationships. What started as a feud line had turned into a cultural anthem. By the end of part 3, the scoreboard was undeniable. Bambi stood isolated, mocked, and reduced to a cautionary tale about what happens when you underestimate the voice of a child. Erica Dixon emerged vindicated, her motherhood defended not by her own words, but by her daughter's courage. Imani. Richardson had transformed from collateral damage into a movement leader, her voice cutting louder than any diss track. Scrappy finally stepped into his role as protector, making it clear where his loyalty lay. And Mama D? She remained the undefeated queen of commentary, sipping her tea while the internet crowned her the narrator of the chaos. The final image wasn't of receipts or diss tracks. It was of a young woman who decided she would no longer be silenced. And in Atlanta, once the children start talking, no adult can control the narrative. The feud had begun as shade, escalated into court threats, and ended as a cultural reset. And if there's one thing the streets know, it's this. Secrets don't stay buried in Atlanta. They rise, they roar, and when they roar, they can destroy even the strongest facades. And for Bambi, the roar of Imani's truth was louder than anything she could ever record, perform, or fake. The saga was over, for now. But in Atlanta, no ending is ever final. The next storm is always waiting.